Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at a consolidation breakout and kind of a pennant pattern here on gold. Let me get my stop in place here. Stop's going to go back 82.8 or so. We'll go down there and we'll take 2 off of there, and the target itself is going to be a little bit different based on my entry. I'm just going to do it based off of my risk, 1 to 1, 2 to 1, all that fun stuff. So half of the risk is going to come off 87.0, so we're going to take 2 contracts off there. Need 3 down there. And then we're going to take 1 off at 88.4, maybe a little bit ahead of 88.4, 88.3. Now, the reason I really like how this is kind of setting up here on gold is you can clearly see the sideways range right here that we just broke out of 83.9 or so, right? And we just slapped outside of that. And then the bottom side has actually been kind of rallying a little bit higher. We've been seeing higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and we finally broke out of that range, which really kind of gives us a heads up that, hey, we might be expanding this range to maybe another level up, or we may be continuing this uptrend that we've been seeing all morning just with a little bit more conviction. Now, it looks a little bit even better, just based on the fact that we had this giant candle showing up. Now that was based off of news, but we had that big candle pushing up here. 835 closed all the way above that consolidation range high, which was at 83.9. Right after that candle formed, we snapped right back to test it right there and then just bounced right back up again. So it's giving a lot of conviction to the upside right now. They're looking like they want to hold this support level 83.9. That's why my stop is, normally it would be down here, right? But I don't anticipate us, if this is correct, we shouldn't be breaking below this line again. So my stop is perfectly safe right there, 82.8, which allows me to take 3 contracts on the trade just because the risk is a little bit smaller. It's still a relatively decent sized risk, about 28 ticks. So you don't want to go too heavy on it, but it does allow us a little bit of room here. Now, as we continue higher, I will be ratcheting my stop in. This is more of just kind of a catastrophic stop right now. I don't plan on it ever being taken out that low down, but need a little bit more information. We are entering a little bit aggressively here, so we need to see a little bit of follow through. Then we can kind of ratchet our stop up along with it. And honestly, you could probably go just underneath this level. If we're not anticipating it coming back, you know, ratchet it down a little bit so it's maybe a couple ticks below that level. Right around, let's say, 83.4, somewhere there. That way it kind of reduces the risk a little bit more. But looking to the upside, if we can get that first target filled up here, we'll take 2 off at 14, so it'll give us 28 ticks on the first one, and then the final one coming off up here, 88.3, that'll give us 27. So if we can get this locked in, we're looking at a relatively decent trade overall, coming in at about 55 ticks. So not bad for a potentially just a scalp to the upside. I like scalps at paywall like that, so we'll be keeping an eye on it. It may take a little bit of time for it to actually go. It is a 5-minute chart, and typically these 5-minute charts aren't the fastest moving things in the world. But with this last burst up and the failure from the sellers, I don't anticipate us ever coming back down again. Now, once we get that target filled at 87, then we'll be looking to move our stop to break even and then just try to ride out that final target at 88.3. So we'll be back in a little bit, see if we can hit 87 next. All right, getting some nice bullish volume coming in. Yep, there we go. Got that target filled, 87. So let's ratchet our stop down to 1 contract left. Stop goes to break even. And based on the volume that we're seeing right now, this complete failure, I'm going to go to break even +1. I don't think we're ever going to come back and hit that before we hit our target. So stops at break even +1, locked in 14 ticks on 2, so 28 ticks. And I'm just looking for a little bit more follow through, see if we can continue higher, hit that 88.3, and really lock in a solid profit on this one. So just kind of sitting on hands right now. I mean, a beautiful setup. You can't really ask for a much clearer looking setup than this. They usually don't happen that clearly. It's a little bit fuzzy sometimes, but very, very kind of picturesque type of setup here. So, and I might not even have to pause it here. So the target's at 88.3, and just kind of sitting on hands. Let's see if we have to pause it or not, and see if they can hit that really quick. And perfect. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So we hit that relatively quickly. Didn't have to do a whole lot. Nice and easy, quick little trade. Not a whole lot to it, but still banked 55 ticks. You know, so for 5-6 minutes of a trade, definitely not too bad at all. So that's going to be the trade for today. $550 in the bag. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.